Alright, we are going to disassemble a original Nintendo GameCube. Some of the tools you're going to need first are this is a 4.5mm Gamebit adapter here. It's kind of proprietary. You can get them fairly cheap on Amazon. A number 2 Phillips and a number 1 just for some other screws in here. So we're going to start by flipping the unit over. And there are going to be these 4 holes here, 1, 2, 3, 4 on each corner. That is the only time we're using the game bit right now. So we're just going to back these out. There's 1. And 2. There we go. I don't have the covers here like most of them do. Those do not need to come off to disassemble it. Alright. So we have the last one coming off here. Alright, these are probably just going to fall right out. Let me flip it over. Let's hold it together. I've got one here that's being a little... Alright. So you want to hold the unit together when you flip it. And what we're going to do now is we're just going to lift the top of the unit off. So each side here, it comes right off, just like that. I've got a disc in here right now just to protect the laser because we will be moving the drive assembly. And this just will protect it. So the first thing we can do is flip it around here to the back. This piece here, just pull it to you, comes right off. After that, let's see. So we're going to want to pull off this fan here. That's where we're going to need the number 2 Phillips. And we're going to need it quite a few times. There's many screws around that holds the drive assembly to the actual main board. So we're going to come in here. There are 2, you'll notice, in the plastic that are holding this plastic piece down. Alright, we've got those 2 out. There we go. Alright, this is just going to come out, but it is connected here, so you want to take this red and black wire and gently pull up on it. It is held in here by a little tab. Just fish it out. And this piece will come right out. And this, you can pull the fan out and clean it if you like, if yours is really dirty. Alright, so now I'm going to come around to the front of it, where the controller ports are and the memory card. I'm going to pull this to us, again, not too far. Lift up. So it's connected right here by a ribbon cord. We're going to gently pull up on it, directly up. There we are. And this is just to hold the controller board on there. Okay, let's spin it around to this side again. We have 3 number 2 Phillips screws right here. There we are. There are quite a few holding this guy in. There we go. Alright, 4 more on the back where the I/O ports are. Just bear with me here, there are quite a few. There are a couple in here that getting your screwdriver in might be a bit of a pain. Just make sure not to strip it out. You can come in at an angle, just apply a little bit of force with that angle to really try to pull the fastener out. Alright, the 4 on this side are out. And to save time, should have done this before, I'm just going to take them out a little bit quicker. So we got 5 on this side here. Oh. All right. And this is just a driver, it's not an impact, so you don't really have to worry too much about harming anything. it is turned down, so it will kick off if it's applying too much pressure when it's fastening. All right, the number 1 Phillips screws that I was talking about are going to be right here above the memory card ports. There's going to be 4. So what we want to do now is get our number 1 Phillips. All right, and then going right here. These are long screws, so they don't really fasten in too far, but they are quite long too. There we go. To really go through the whole chassis there. So there are going to be 2 of these on each one. These little tabs here are used to ground the controller board to the system. They just kind of push up against it. Make sure they're in the proper orientation when reassembling it. They should be facing toward the front of the console, not toward the drive assembly. We're almost done here. Alright, we've got those out. Set them to the side, make sure everything stays organized. There's really not too many different screws here, so you really don't have to worry too much about putting them in the right spot. So next, we're going to grab the bottom of the drive assembly. We're just going to lift up. There's a connector in here, as you can see right there, and it connects to the main board here. So this heatsink normally never really needs to come off. We can disassemble it further. We don't really need to for anything else. I would say if you're disassembling it this far, the main reason would be to remove this digital out here, this composite out, and modify it and put an HDMI port there. That's actually something I'm planning to do with this console. It does take some invasive soldering and fine pitch soldering to really remove all the through hole pins that hold this connector on. It's something that may be coming in the future. But yeah, this is usually as far as you'll need to disassemble the console to do any kind of repair, whether you need to replace your controller ports, which they do go out, or the fan or the drive assembly. But yeah, that's it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll be doing more consoles here in the future.